from age 8. I started my entrepreneurial journey. I had to follow my mom to a shed to sell plant paid. I would get paid as well, but there was nothing I didn't sell. Failure taught me speed. There are a lot of people today, they are not any smarter than either of us. You have to be quick about your decisions. It will make you challenge yourself. It will make what's doing like. So why on earth did I need a 6-figure job? Welcome to Budding Business, where we're going to be talking about everything, whether you want to set up your business, whether you want to scale, whether you are a solopreneur, you're an entrepreneur, or you are already a founder, whatever it is, this podcast is for you. If you like what you've been hearing around setting up businesses, around my business, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm Fadi Adeni, also known as FA, your host, and a bit of introduction about me. I've been a solopreneur for a while. Now I'm a founder. Prior to all of this, I've been into a lot of business. So I'm here to basically share my experience around all of the businesses I've set up. Some that are successful, some that aren't. So let's get into it. Budding Business is basically my brainchild. It's not about flexing successes at all. It's about documenting the journey around setting up my businesses, around my challenges, my wins, WTF moments. It's also about showing what really happens when you stop dreaming about setting up your own business and how to actually start. And yeah. So, and if you're on the urge and you are not sure whether you want to set up your business, whether you want to scale, or you are just starting over, this podcast will give you the proof, the permission, and the perspective you need in order to thrive in whatever you want to do. So backtrack a bit to my childhood around what I knew about my first ever business. Imagine when kids are enjoying summer holidays. I didn't really have the luxury of that because summer holiday meant I had to follow my mom to a shed. She used to sell planks. Back home in Nigeria, we use plank for doing a lot of things, furniture, roofing the house, you just name it, beds, everything. And then you physically, the carpenter or the person you're working with or the workman, I had to literally follow you to the store to buy the planks you would require. What I did then was very funny, but I will quickly explain where I began my journey as a solopreneur. So of course, I didn't have any capital to start. I was literally 8 years old and I was in primary 4, which is equivalent to year 4 in the United Kingdom. I started the business just by asking my mom. So when they bring plants for my mom, right, I will try to input some images on here as well so we understand where I'm coming from. When my mom buys a plank, right, there might be some, they are called rough, and the rough planks are not very good planks, but they will still include it as part of the planks, which could be the edges of the tree, because this is them physically cutting the trees, right? So the edges of the planks, it might not be complete full end to end. So ideally, the plank that I dealt with most with my mom was 2x12. We call it 2x12, so it's 2 inches breadth and 12 inches long, right? So I would then tell my mom, okay, this rough that you have right now, you can't really do anything with it, and most people would not buy it. Would you mind selling it to me? And I would have the guys in the sawmill, we call it sawmill, they would then cut it into tie rods for me. Back in the days, tie rod was used for roofing a house. This was some 30 years ago, right? So tie rod was used to roof houses where you would put in the slate and then you would put the tie rods. So tie rods were supposed to hold in a bit of decoration as well. So I would then have them break the plank and cut the plank for me into smaller chunks where I would then sell it. So when I sell the planks, my mom would get paid as well. So she sells it to me. So for example, she sells her own plank for 200 naira. She sells the rough to me and she would buy the rough maybe at 80 naira, sell at 200. So she would sell the rough to me at around 120. I would then have them cut it and then I would sell each tie rod. I could possibly sell each tie rod for around 20 naira then, and I would gain. The men at the sawmill used to cut the tie rod for me for absolutely free. So in a way, I was gaining. My mom gets her 120. I just get my 120 or maybe my 100 naira per plank that has been cut for me. So summer holiday, I literally started selling. Fast forward a few years, my parents moved to Dubai, UAE. So I moved a year after my mom moved to UAE, and my mom, being a businesswoman right from onset, she went back to her first love, which was fashion designing. Obviously, you can't sell planks in Dubai, so she had to move back to fashion designing, and she would literally make Kampala. I'm sure some of us don't know what Kampala is. Kampala is called tie-dye. It's made by some really beautiful women in Abeokuta, Ogun State, part of Nigeria. So she would go there and buy the Kampala in bulk and sell it in the UAE, Dubai, for some cool cash, to be fair. And the Ugandans, the Kenyans were majority of our customers. So then I literally started to do something like that, and this was probably me age 12, 13. So I would also find a few things that they might need to buy from Lagos. So if my mom is going to Nigeria, I'll tell her, oh mommy, buy small cotton comb, buy small this. And then I also started to learn how to braid for people as well. So I've always been an industrious. This might be of value to me to sell to our customers as well. She would buy them and I would pay her when she comes back, because she used to go to Nigeria quite often, especially to buy goods. So we talked about what I've done in Dubai. Later, I relocated to the United Kingdom after failing my GCSEs. Yes, I failed my IGCSE. So GCSE is for the folks in Nigeria. It's basically GCE, so basically your secondary school certificate. I didn't finish my secondary school in Nigeria, so I finished in Dubai, but obviously I failed, so I had to come to the United Kingdom and I had to resit my GCSE. So I didn't have to redo IGCSE in the United Kingdom. I think that was part of my resilience to everything. When I realized that I failed, I knew I had to go the path that I wanted to, like I had to do interesting stuff. I didn't want to just pick any course just because my parents would like me to study biology, physics, chemistry and become whatever, a doctor, because my dad studied medicine. My elder brother. After I sold a few of those items in Dubai and I moved to the United Kingdom to complete my education, I realized when I bought stuffs, right, I was really big on buying Adidas, buying Nike, buying Reebok, buying Timberland, and I realized that after a couple of weeks, I'm tired of them and I want to buy new stuff. What do I do with the old stuff? Your girl went to eBay and started to sell these items on eBay. And because of the demand, I realized that people were literally buying these items from me. Like, so the shoe shop was my major shop for shopping my kickers, my rock bottom. There were quite a number of those, really nice shoes that I wouldn't buy bags, but I would buy loads of trainers and boots because I just liked them at the time, and I'm quite the opposite right now. So that was what gave birth to my retail business, and I would buy, resell. Some I made profit, some I made a loss because I didn't do my calculations properly, and yeah, but that gave me my first ever online e-commerce business. By the time I graduated and I was leaving the UK, I had substantial amounts of money made from that business then, and it was basically buying and selling things online. Then I moved to sell it to my friends and family. So that was how I became a seller. Then I moved to Nigeria, and so I went to do my NYSC in Nigeria. My dad's an advocate of physical trust in Nigeria, let's just call it that. So I had to move to Nigeria for my NYSC. didn't really enjoy it at the time, so I decided I was gonna move back. I moved back. I didn't get a job, and I also realized that I wanted to work to get experience as well. I didn't just want to go into business just like that, or retail just like that. So I relocated a year later. After my NYSC, I relocated back to Nigeria, and I went to work for a software testing consulting organization. And that was basically my breakthrough into corporate working in tech. So after that, I worked for one of the Nigeria's biggest fintech organization at the time, called InterSwitch. While I was at InterSwitch, there was nothing I didn't sell. Goodness me, I sold everything possible. Watches, clothes, shoes, bags. In the middle of all of that, I actually started a website called lushdeals.com. My nickname has been Lush from my university days, and so I just appended Lush Deals, and I created lushdeals.com. It was basically a deals website where I would bring in merchants, and I used social media to sell majority of everything that I sold on lushdeals.com, and to the extent that I took in a shop space with a friend of mine, with my sister's friend in Victoria Island, Lagos, and the business was really good, to be honest. And so after work, I'll quickly go there, ask, okay, what did we sell today? So because a lot of people in Nigeria, they didn't really believe. I'm talking 13, 12 years ago right now. They didn't really believe so much in online selling at the time, so they like to come to a physical shop to pick up, and that was why I decided to take up a shop space with my sister's friend at the time. So the logistics was also a problem, right? Because they would want to deliver items, the person is not available, they have to call them, they have to come back. All of this was costing my business a lot of money as well, and these are some things that made the business fail. Well, maybe not fail, but it was really challenging to manage logistics at the time. I don't know about now because I no longer live in Lagos, Nigeria, but at the time it was very difficult. And then of course Jumia came, Konga came, so I was also selling on their platforms as well. So I would sell all of my things on their platform, my hair, my shoes, my bag, my whatever I was selling, watches. There was nothing your girl didn't sell, to the extent that the people of InterSwitch actually named me Iyalaje of the Switch, because there was nothing I didn't sell. Everybody knew me as a deals person. If they wanted to buy something and they found the price, it was very expensive, they would say, oh, go to Fadi. Fadi would be able to get you for you at less of the price, and I would literally help them source those items. It could also be sourcing from abroad, it could be sourcing from Balogun market, it could be sourcing from anywhere, because I had the network then. And basically Lush Deals was my baby at the time. And guess what happened? Your girl got married, had a baby, priorities changed. I had to shut down Lush Deals to move to the United Kingdom, and yes, that was how your girl became a proper corporate babe. So I was completely engrossed into my 9 to 5. I can remember me texting a friend of mine, telling her, she was like, oh Fadi, what are you going to be doing about your business? And the only thing I told her was, I'm not going to focus on business anymore right now. I'm going to just focus on my corporate life. She was like, really? This cannot be you. I'm like, yes, this is me speaking, because everybody that knew me knew everything for me was setting up businesses, building up myself, literally my entire life. Like I started this podcast, I started this show, I said, it's been from age 8. That's when I started my entrepreneurial journey. And it's been great, to be honest. In essence, you can basically use your 9 to 5 to set up yourself, but when you would know when you are supposed to graduate and move into other things as well. I will explain further. 2018, I had a passion, and the passion was basically for me to bring in more people into the tech space, especially folks in Nigeria and whatnot. So I basically created a LinkedIn podcast that went, a LinkedIn post that went viral, and I trained about 200 people to break into tech for free. Yes. And my friend, who I'm actually going to bring on this podcast because she's a businesswoman as well. She has at least 2 businesses right now, and I would love to share from her words of experience as well. She literally called me one afternoon or evening. She told me, Paddy, you must actually be a nutter to think you can continue to do this for free. Why are you not charging people? Why do you think it's okay to train over 200 people for free? And in my mind, I was just giving back to the community. I was like, no, we're not doing that here. I have 2 people who actually need your services, and I'm going to make them pay. What do you want to charge? I was like, what do you think I should charge? I was so naive. I didn't really think I could actually turn it into a business, you see. So my friend Tege actually brought me my first 2 service-based clients, and I trained them to become business analysts. So that was my first ever service business that literally grew into Techlerator that we all know today. Well, Techlerator today. And that was when I realized that I could literally sell strategy and created offers around training people and coaching, helping them break into tech. Then I was still in corporate until 2023 when I realized that this was it for me and I need to build up my entire business right now. So I left corporate December of 2023 to set up my own business, Techlerator. And since then, I've had multiple. Even prior to that, I'm also doing a lot of investments as well. And of course, today I run Techlerator, which is we do learning. The learning part is the service part of the business. The coaching part as well is the service part of the business. But we are expanding and moving into other things as well. So, yay. Also, I'm a property investor, I've seen, and I'm going to dedicate an entire episode to showing as well what type of properties we should be investing in, because at the end of the day, I have lost quite, in as much as I've gained, I have also lost quite a substantial amount of money to buying some properties that I shouldn't have. I've also trusted some people that I shouldn't have as well. And in business, you have to ensure that you go into contracts with everybody. Even if it's my mom presently, she has to sign a contract, whoever it is, because that's the only thing that binds us, right? That shows us that we need to also look after ourselves. Key lessons learned for me is you need to start where you are presently if this is the journey you want to take. And I also want to say, entrepreneurship, being a founder, it is not easy. There are times I've questioned myself a number of times, and I would literally call my co-founder saying, at this time, do you think we are on the right track? Because it will make you challenge yourself. It will make you question yourself. Like, why on earth did I leave a 6-figure job, to come and start something and everything is just in chaos, right? So there are days like that. But I feel like the most rewarding part is to see your impact in people's lives and see that, oh, this person, is this because I gave them value. This person has achieved this because they know me and I've, given them my own knowledge, I've given them my own experience. And this is why I'm also doing this podcast for us as well, to say we are always constantly learning. I don't know everything as well, and I'm willing to learn, unlearn, and relearn as well. And that's what life is all about, right? You cannot just stay in a stagnant position and expect life to be different. No, there are so many things that we can achieve and learn. There are a few things I actually want to talk about. Failure taught me speed, meaning that at the end of the day, You have to be quick about your decisions. They are not any smarter than either of us, or they are not smarter than any one of us. The only edge that they had was they made up in their mind quickly, speed, and they were able to deliver quickly. But if they didn't make up their mind, like I've been procrastinating on doing this podcast, this show for the longest time, but I have another friend who literally prompted me again this morning. She was like, where is it? And I'm like, it is so difficult. I've recorded like 3 different episodes of this introduction that I might never ever air because I decided to take a different angle again. But right now, I want to tell you guys that budding business is here to stay, and yay, we've just recorded and we're live with our first episode. And I know I'm a bit, this is my character. Every day I'm like this. So this is budding business, and we're going to be here taking this flight every single Thursday. And I would love you guys to come on this journey with me because I have a lot of things to share. Like I mentioned, I also want to learn from you guys. If there's any episode or anything you would like for me to talk about, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section or shoot me an email. And please follow me on all my socials, Fadi Adini on Instagram and Fadi Adini everywhere else. And I will see you next week, Thursday.